Well, hey gang, welcome to Rimshots with Sean, brought to you by Barstools and Bandtalk. I am here with Bea MacGregor, Executive Director of Alderney Landing, is that correct?
CEO.
CEO, even better, right? So I bring the heavy hitters. I don't, we don't go here, we go here. We're here to talk about Rock The Harbour, which was announced that it was coming back, I guess, officially last week, and the ticket sales opened yesterday. Welcome, for starters.
Thank you. I really appreciate having the opportunity and super excited.
First off, what a great event for Dartmouth.
Yes.
I'm born and bred Dartmouth, well, not born in Sydney, but pretty much bred in Dartmouth. Gloria McCluskey is one of my dear friends. I sent her the text. She was really excited about it. And Gloria, I'm going to get over for that raisin bread, I promise. But so tell me, obviously, you guys having it back meant that last year was, in your mind, a successful event.
It was so fun, and everybody had such a great time. There's not too many times that in the pouring rain, people are singing and laughing and having a good time, and it brings back a lot of memories for people. So the fans loved it.
Right.
Fantastic reviews, and we had the opportunity, so we snagged it.
The interesting thing is that that era of music, it's really it's making a comeback. It went away for a little bit, but it's just kind of bracket where people on the say the tail end of 55 love it. The people on the lower end of 35 love it.
Yeah. For
whatever reason, and it's just one of those things where you're not angry when you go to a show like that. No, it's fun, right?
It's fun, and there's still like a lot of like our kids that are of age.
Sure.
They like the music, so. I was really pleased to see a really diverse crowd, right?
So we'll get back to Rock The Harbour in a second, but what do you guys call this?
This is the rotunda.
I knew it was a big word that I don't normally use, so thank you. Just in here, there's a theater, which I've been here in that theater many times. It's beautiful. How many seater is it?
300.
And it's a true theater, like, the slope and what have you. People come down here. There's the farmer's market, if you're familiar with Dartmouth, right? The library. I found out I got my COVID test in that library. That I don't have it anymore. Obviously, it was way back when. But this property is actually really cool because you don't really, when it's not set up for things, you don't know what it can do.
Right. So we produce 600 events a year. 300 in our theater, and then we have our events plaza, the outdoor park space. Wow. We run 3 farmers markets a week. And always have entertainment, live entertainment. Yeah. And what we try and do is promote local. Yeah. And then our gallery is beautiful, the Craig, and we have 24 different shows, both in the Craig, and we also have our exhibitions and lectures, talks, painting, and then lots of interactive art. So there's always something that we're doing.
Well, and I'm gonna have to get you on you about promote local, because I got a great local band that you're gonna love, so I might be part of it. But anyway, enough about me. So you have had a number of concerts.
Yeah.
So it looks like a parking lot when you go there, if anybody's familiar with it. If you've seen the stage, you know what it looks like. But that nice, high, good sight lines, just talk about how that thing gets set up.
So we put in the center where the front doors are, that's our large space for our stage. It's perfect height. Mm-hmm. The audience isn't too far from the artists. The artists love it because they're looking over at the crowd. Right. All the sight lines are beautiful, and then you're looking out at the harbor and you're seeing the sunset. So and of course Tortec does an amazing job.
They do, yep.
With the production. And
you literally rock the harbor, because if you can't really see, because there's this beautiful Christmas tree in the way, but the harbor's right behind us. So, and the stage, I'm pointing that way if you knew where we were. So you're literally on the harbor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Some other things too, and before we get started, they have the haunted house here, which through Barstools and Rimshots. I promote a lot. I've gone through it. Those guys do a great job. It's really, Dartmouth isn't what it used to be, is it?
No,
right?
No.
I remember there used to be the pawn shop, and a couple other things, and now it's vibrant.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that didn't happen overnight.
No.
And it really is about people coming together, supporting each other, and trying to focus on the positive, eliminate some of the negative, and plan ahead. So we're planning our future too for Alderney. for an expansion because we've far outgrown our space.
No question. And I mean, I'll get my plug in for Dartmouth. I still play a lot in Halifax, and I tell you, parking over there is atrocious. Load-ins for musicians are bad. So I mean, come to Dartmouth because I tell you, there's lots of parking. There's all kinds of cool stuff. Lori would get mad at me if I didn't mention this, but you're allowed to bring chairs to the event this year. Right?
Just not too many.
Right.
No, no, everybody can bring a chair, and so and that was a lot of fun. And hats off to Rock The Harbour producers for having both.
Yep.
In that right up front of the stage is standing room, of course, because you want to be able to party and have fun, and then step back is the chair seating. And because of the sight lines and the height of the stage, you can see the stage, so it was perfect.
Yep.
And line everybody up, you can see the stage, and then there's tons of standing room in the back along with the sides.
So for anybody, it's funny because a guy that I work with at a record company came to the event last year from London, Ontario. He had a great time. Hi Ken, how you doing, bud? And a lot of people have asked me, like, where do you stay? Are hotels close? So if there's people that will come from away, and there probably will, you would tell them what?
Oh, the Burnside has lots of hotels, along with Dartmouth Crossing now, and then Halifax. It's only 15-minute, actually 10 minutes to come across on the ferry, and it's load and go. So if there's for the weekend, I would stay at any one of these hotels.
And it really is close now. I mean, it's just, if you haven't been to Dartmouth, I mean, it's an easy city to get around.
Totally.
For what the national media might be telling you, it's a very safe city. It's walkable. Yeah. Lots of stuff to do, which is very cool. So, Lori, her and I talked quite a bit. She's obviously an integral part of your team on this whole thing.
Absolutely.
Has the nerves subsided now? Because I know she was probably a bundle of energy.
Well, we had this opportunity, and got to hand it off to our board. Our board is phenomenal, and they're all volunteers.
And how many times, because I was part of many boards, and you don't often hear an executive director or CEO say that for different reasons. Boards can be tough. So the fact that you're saying that is great, because it obviously signifies a great working relationship.
Oh my gosh. We're incredibly lucky to have the leadership that we do.
Yep.
And, right now we have Sandra McKenzie. She was former deputy minister of this, that, and the next thing.
Yep.
And then we Daryl Dexter, former premier, is our vice president. Twyla Gross was our treasurer this past year.
And she's, I believe, a cousin of my former radio producer, Russell Gross. So,
yeah.
And that's another thing in Dartmouth, right? Yeah. It's a 6 degrees of separation all the time.
And then Gord Gamble, he looks after the facility.
I know Gord very well.
Oh, do you? Yeah. He's a rock star along with Cindy and Hilchie, and she's with Clean Nova Scotia Foundation. Kim Rosesko from the downtown. Our two councillors are great. And Libby Douglas, she was former Director General of Veterans Canada. And Dwight and Bryden with CIBC. So it's a really different group of people with a lot of different talents. And they donate a ton of time.
Well, and if they're volunteers, anybody that knows has been a part of that, it's missionary work sometimes, right? But you do it because you love it and you want to give back.
And there's always challenges, right? And good on them for seeing this as an opportunity for Alderney.
And how long have you been in your role?
I don't want to say.
You don't have to. More than 10 years.
25.
Okay.
We're coming up on my 25th year.
So I would know myself personally, every time that a new board comes in, there's a learning curve on everybody's parts. That you've been here 25 years says a lot about their confidence in you and maybe your confidence in them. Is that a fair statement?
I would say, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and before that, I was the executive director of the Dartmouth Downtown Development Corporation.
I remember that.
Yeah, so we did a lot in those years, and Daryl was a big part of that. Daryl Dexter then, and then we brought him back, and establishing a commission and putting together a municipal plan and planning this waterfront and getting this building built,
right.
and then making it work.
Yeah, and that's a big thing, right?
Right.
Because I remember when the Downtown Business Commission started, I was actually working at a company on Queen Street, and that was 2001 is when the ball started getting rolling.
Yeah.
As I remember, where they
Yeah.
were trying to
Yeah.
just get ideas going and get buy-in from people downtown, and to see what it's become. I mean, I remember Francis Ferris when he had the little shop out in the Bedford Highway, and he had this vision, and it was like, I saw it, but other people were crazy. I mean, look at King's Wharf now, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can go on and on about those stories, but we're here to talk about Rock the Harbour, which is amazing. So,
and lots of good restaurants when you come to Rock the Harbour in downtown.
is there ever? So you know what? Let's talk about that for a second, because and I'm glad you brought that up. My ADD I had that question and then I let it go. You have restaurants, you have small pubs, you have microbreweries, you have one of my favorite places, Renegade Records.
Yes.
Tom and the kids there, right? So when you come down here, when you're between acts, or a day's over, there's a lot of stuff to do. Staggers, Debbie's.
Yep.
They're doing their free Christmas dinner again this year. So there's all kinds of cool stuff. And I remember last year when you guys did this, and I was like, it's great that it's in Dartmouth. Now, I not unfortunately, had a good time, but I was away.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to go to Ireland. It was rough. But this year I'm going to be here. But I was very happy because I was so used to hearing, Halifax getting stuff.
Yeah.
Or Moncton getting stuff. So the fact that it's coming back a second time tells me this could be almost a yearly thing.
Oh, this is annual, for sure. You heard it there's here. Enough Canadian rock artists that we did a little bit of a teaser. Who do you think is on the roster?
Yep. And
there's a lot of bands out there. So, I see this continuing on, and this is an Alderney's first concert. Lori Latteroux, who you've mentioned several times, her and I, it was actually her mom who put us together. And she said, you should meet my daughter. You and her could do some things. And we produced, when Joel was getting going, we had Joel Plaskett and Emergency Band, first three big concerts, and we produced April Wine, 2005. And actually, when we had April Wine and Miles Goodwin, rest in peace, he 2 years ago brought April Wine. We produced that show.
I remember.
And it was amazing. And that really gave the seed for Rock the Harbour to happen. And it was noticed as a venue, and certainly Miles and others loved the venue and promoted it well and really spoke kindly of Lori and everyone else here.
Well, and of course, Lori was a big part of the old Tortec party that I played the very first one when they were up at the old Atlantic Car Stereo, and I was in a band that used to rent a lot of gear from them, and we were invited, and it was be on your best behavior. That was what we were told. So, but they always did a great job, and maybe one day we'll see something like that back again. Might be cool. But so you've had Journey. I'm looking at your list here. You've had In-Flight Safety. You've had April Wine. Now you've had from last year, if I remember, Toronto. The Headpins. Was it Gowan, Street Heart.
Yeah.
This year the lineup's just strong. It's pretty cool, and a couple local bands which I'm excited about because Titan. Not that I didn't. They kind of broke up a little bit before I started playing the bars.
Okay.
But Razor Boy was really one of the bands, and Jackie's a dear friend that I learned from when I was growing up. Right, I would go out and see them when I was 16 years old.
I think a lot of people are going to love seeing Razor Boy.
Yeah, no question. We did a show with them at two shows with them at Monty's, and it was always fun because it was like you had those guys who were really Jackie. I used to call him he was the godfather of the music scene around here, and it was like Jackie and those guys, and then three guys in another band that grew up listening to him, and it kind of brought everything together, and it was really cool. So it's great that they're on there, and of course Dave Roberts and Bruce Hudson and
beautiful singer.
Dave Roberts, I say this, he's the guy that should have been a superstar. And when I interviewed him on my show, it was just like, even when I was living in Toronto, I used to say that.
Yeah.
That guy's voice is just unreal. He's actually submitted a couple songs for the artist Michelle Ryder that we're doing for her stuff, so we're going to be working on that. So that's cool. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
So tickets went on sale yesterday.
Yeah, and they sold.
You know what? I was like this. Lori told me this morning, and I was like, yeah, because you never know what's going to happen around this time of year, right?
No, exactly. Like it's a few days before Christmas. People are trying to get stocking stuffers.
Well, what a great gift! What a great gift!
Totally.
And I promise I wouldn't ask numbers, but you said you were pleased with what you saw the first time.
Yeah, like having a couple hundred people buy tickets right off the get-go is great. I do expect this year to sell out.
Yeah.
Last year the numbers were really good, and so I would not wait till the last minute.
No, I wouldn't either,
year.
because I promised Lori, like, I'm going to promote it, and we've got a great audience and a great group, and we're doing a show in January at Monty's where we're going to do something tied to this to try to get the word out. So it's all about getting in people's faces and telling them that it's an event you don't want to miss.
Well, and people, everybody that came really enjoyed it. I had so many people at the end of it say, thank you. Like, wow, people saying thank you and hanging out, rain or shine. It's a great venue. It really works. So.
Well, it is a great venue, and the thing that I remember, I was somewhere playing on the road, but when Journey played here, and a friend of mine that doesn't even like to go to concerts said I would go back to that anytime, just because she likened it to an outdoor cavernous theater, which was kind of a cool. And where the stage sits, everything kind of projects out nicely. So it's a great venue, and I mean, I'm not just saying that because I'm a Dartmouthian, if you will. It's a good venue. So. Last piece of business, where can people get tickets to this wonderful event?
At Alderney Landing and on Tickstar, and it's on our website, and just go on there and click on your tickets and buy them, and buy them early, don't wait.
And I promise you will be sick to death of me promoting this event and there's 8 months, kids, so get ready for it, right? Thanks a lot. Appreciate you doing this. It was great. And Rock the Harbour, you better get your tickets because they're going fast. Ciao, kids.